Proudly broadcasting from the Richard Philip Cavallaro Studio.
WRHU.
Hempstead.
You discovered.
A cornerstone of the Lawrence Herbert School of Communication.
WRHU.
Hello, screeners. We're back again.
You're listening to The Screening Room on 88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Say hello to my little friend.
Join us as we talk about all things pop culture,
Hollywood news,
And entertainment.
Well, I'm feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
screeners buckle up.
and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Screening Room on WRHU. I am your host, Michael Albrecht, joined by my co-host, Brandon Moy. Also in studio, we have Abby Gibson, Michael Ventries, and new to the Screening Room, Jamie Yos.
On today's show, we are discussing Spotify Wrapped, AFI's top 10 lists, and all the latest entertainment news.
For more on our show, follow us on Instagram at Screening Room, WRHU.
Well, welcome to the show, everybody. I hope you're all doing great. How's our weeks?
It's all right. They've been good.
Weeks been good. It's a tired week, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like
going on.
November was really long.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. But you know what? We're in December now.
I guess.
I'm all in the Christmas mood.
I see.
It's the season of the holidays, which is very nice. But we have a new member here in the Screening Room this week, Jamie, who's joining us for the first time. How are you doing, Jamie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Well, we're so happy to have you here on the Screening Room. And as per tradition on the show, we'd like to ask you, what are your favorite movies and TV shows?
That is like the forbidden question because there's
Yes.
so many good ones. But for shows, I'm a big romance junkie. So like Heartstopper, Never Have I Ever, This Summer I Turned Pretty. Those are all tops. But I think my top might have to be Glee.
Okay.
I watched it like 6 months ago, and I've been obsessed ever since. And for movies, I'm a big Marvel girl, so just keep that in mind. So like Spider-Man's definitely up there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can't remember the name of this one movie. Oh, Through My Window. It's a romance. It's in Spanish. I love it. I'm trying to think. Wicked was fantastic. Loved Wicked. Oh, my God. That's like top 3 movies of all time, in my
Oh,
opinion.
wow. That's crazy.
Insanely good. Like, I want to see it again.
Wow.
But yeah, those are my favorites.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. A lot of your favorites are a lot of our favorites here on the
Yeah.
show. So
Oh,
it's
good.
You make a perfect fit. You know, it's perfect. But why don't we all get caught up with what we've been watching this week? Anyone see anything good?
I'll be honest. I've been obsessed with like Law and Order.
Really?
Yeah, like I watch like the little like YouTube clips, and I've just been watching them like nonstop, like that, and Chicago Med, Chicago PD, like all that genre drama stuff. Like I just like
You're eating it up.
House MD. I'm just like those drama shows that have been on the air for like 10, 20 like years. I just
Have you watched Criminal Minds?
no.
It's so good.
Criminal Minds is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my brother like used to watch it, but
I got into, me and my sister got into Criminal Minds during COVID.
yeah, that's good.
Interesting. I can't really watch those shows. I feel like they get like repetitive after a while.
Yeah, right?
You know?
It's all kind of the same premise. Like they all, it's just a story of like the hospital. Like I've watched Grey's Anatomy. It's like the same type of thing. It's like, yes, there's drama and stuff, but there's always very much repetition in it.
Yeah.
It's all procedural and like one of my favorite shows, Psych.
Psych?
Yes, you can kind of tell who the killer is going to be at the end based off of like after, because there's a formula to it, and that's the same thing with like NCIS and like Chicago Med and stuff. There's always a formula. So like, oh, the murderer is always somebody you meet in like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And you just gotta kind of, okay, who makes sense?
It's basically Scooby-Doo for adults.
Essentially.
That was funny.
But yeah, well, that's fun to watch. It's always on TV, you know? It's like those ones that you could be watching late night, and they're just on all night.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
I have a
cool.
couple of new things I watched this
Yeah,
week.
what have you seen?
This is going to sound so cringy and so ridiculous. I'm warning you all now.
Oh, boy.
The Noah Beck movie.
Oh.
It's called QB and Me, or like Sidelined. It's about like Noah Beck's character. He's like the like popular like football quarterback in the school, and then this new girl joins the school, and it's like it's a romance, but it's not a love triangle. Everyone's been like obsessed with the fact that it's not, because everything you watch nowadays is a love triangle. So it wasn't, and it was amazing. I loved it. But also, I started a new show. It's on Prime Video. It's called Cruel Intentions. I found a bunch of
I've
clips
seen a
on
lot of
TikTok.
TikToks for it
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
I'm not going to explain it, but it's really weird. It takes like sororities
Yeah.
and frats and makes them like sound culty.
It's based off of a movie.
Yeah.
That might be an original. I don't know if it's based off something else, but
It was in like the 90s, I think.
yeah, pretty much the same premise. I've heard.
Yeah.
Just a remake.
I haven't seen the movie. I might now because I'm loving the show. So we'll see how that goes.
Interesting. Very cool. Anyone else see something cool this week?
Sabrina Carpenter's holiday special.
Oh, yeah, how was
I have
that?
heard
It
about
was
that.
so good.
I saw the trailer.
I really liked it. It was very silly, goofy. I didn't know
Yeah.
that there were like skits in it though.
Yeah, I just saw Jimmy Fallon did a similar thing
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah,
And
I need to watch both of those.
yeah,
Big fans of both of those.
it's kind of fun because they do like a little bit of music and then a
Right.
little bit of like fun
Yeah.
skit things, and I think
Yeah.
that one was done well, and I'm sure the Sabrina one was done well too.
Yeah.
Which is very fun.
Shh. It's a holiday special?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Oh.
It just came out.
Yeah.
Oh, it did?
Like
Oh.
last Friday.
Okay.
Everyone's got a holiday special now.
It's been on my
true.
TikTok feed as
Waiting
the last
for
3
Post
days.
Malone.
Yeah, the Post Malone Christmas special.
Yeah.
Well, he needs an album first.
That's-
Christmas album.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe next year. I feel like everyone came out with a holiday album this year. Jimmy Fallon has one.
I mean, how else you going to make money?
That's true.
Real.
Good royalties on that.
Exactly.
Michael, did you see anything good this week?
Not this week. I saw Wicked.
Oh, okay.
I've been telling everybody to go see Wicked. I'm
Another
kind
good
of
review.
What?
Another good review.
It is another good review. I thought it was phenomenal. I loved the film. Both the film kid in me and the theater kid in me were
They converged.
very
for
ecstatic. It was great. Yeah, I don't know. Really happy with everything in it. I thought it was just good on cinematic levels in like a storytelling way. I think it's interesting how it's really impressive actually how it's only the first act of the musical, the stage
Right.
musical, and they stretched that first act of musicals are like an hour. They stretched that story into 2.5 hours, and it didn't feel like that. It felt so seamless and like natural pace. And I've never seen the stage musical, so now I'm like, how did they do this? Like condensed, because it just felt so like the natural pace of things.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I was really impressed. I thought the vocals were really well. I've been obsessed with Dancing Through Life.
I've been obsessed with Defying Gravity.
That too.
Yeah.
We've been holding space for Defying Gravity.
Oh my god, I went to like a birthday party a few days ago and we played it, and just all the like theater girls in the room just fully just belted the lyrics. It was really funny.
Yeah, people are loving the music right now.
It's
I think
so
it's great.
good.
Everyone's obsessed.
It's so good.
I've been going back and forth between that and Christmas music recently.
Yeah.
And Bruno Mars' new song with Rosé, which I'm
He
obsessed
has a new song?
Yeah.
It's not his. It's not his.
That's
He's featured
Bruno
on it.
Mars?
Yeah.
Really?
He's featured on it. ATP. Yes, he's featured
I
on
know
it.
that. That's crazy. I did not know that
It's
at
just
all.
people know Bruno Mars and don't know Rosé.
Yeah, I just know the song from TikTok, like
Yeah.
the dance.
I do. I love that song.
It's so good.
He keeps making like one song comebacks.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Just
really
had
good.
Die
Make
with
an
a
album.
Smile. Yeah.
You used to be so popular. Like, keep going.
Right.
We like you.
Where'd you go, Bruno?
Exactly.
Where'd you
Right?
go, Bruno? Sorry, my brain says stuff.
Just how it is.
I also started watching some Christmas movies recently.
Okay.
So I rewatched The Santa Claus.
Ah.
Great first act. No, the whole movie's great. I should get that fact. The whole movie's great, but because we've been doing first acts in my screenwriting class, I've been very paying attention to the first acts of movies, and I'm like, oh, this is done really well. So I'm just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you watching on Freeform? Is that what you're?
No, I watched it. I have it on my Apple TV.
Oh, okay.
I have it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
bought it a while ago.
Oh, so you own it now.
I own it.
It's so good you own it.
I also watched like 3/4 of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, I love that. That's on my house 24/7.
Yeah,
during
great
this
movie.
time of year.
And Black Friday, I always have to watch White Christmas.
Is it
Okay.
bad that I haven't seen any of those?
Yes.
You should.
Let's be real, I'm Jewish though.
That's
I
fair.
do still celebrate Christmas, but not to the extent as everyone else does.
Yeah.
I have seen Elf, I promise. I've seen Elf, but I honestly can't even list other Christmas movies I've seen.
Christmas Vacation's very funny.
Haven't
You
seen
should
that one.
definitely watch
I've
that
seen
one.
the Good Luck Charlie Christmas movie. And
That's also a
one of
classic.
my like top 5 Christmas songs is from Good Luck Charlie.
And that's real. Because
It-
that movie is actually so good.
It is. Like, they're going on a family trip, and then they have to take, like, 2 separate planes, and they get lost. And then, like, Teddy and, what's the mom's name? Amy?
Amy.
Are, like, stranded.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great movie.
Yeah. I feel like it's a common, like, Christmas movie trope.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, I can't make it home for the holidays.
That's pretty accurate.
Insert character development.
Yeah.
I do have like one Christmas movie that's always been a personal favorite of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Arthur Christmas. Does anyone remember that?
No, I never watched it.
It was
I
like
didn't watch Arthur Christmas.
it was like this movie about how like Santa and his elves had a bunch of high tech gear and they would sail around the world in record time. However, the problem was that they missed one kid. So Arthur, the son of Saint Nick, has to go on his own quest to try and deliver the present before Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a really fun like animated movie that I always really liked.
That's fun.
That's fun.
I just watched, what was it? I'm going to forget now. But what I did watch this week was the Christmas tree lighting at Rockefeller, which is a classic every year.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
it's
love
always
it.
fun, and it started snowing there this year
That's
as they were
magical.
lighting the tree, which
Yeah.
was really cool.
Me
But
and
it's-
Abby are going there
Alright.
Yay.
a week from today or yesterday.
Well, yesterday, because we're going this Saturday.
Okay,
There you
got
go.
you.
That's fun.
That's awesome.
I know Christmas in New York is like a whole,
I love it.
whole thing.
I'm from New York and I've never been to the tree.
Are you serious?
That's crazy.
Completely serious.
That's insane.
That is
I know.
insane. I've been
I'm so glad I'm
several
finally
times.
going.
And this is why I'm forcing us to be tourists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
No, like every time we're in the city, which this is like the second time this semester, we just like stop at a billion places.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
we went to the Disney store last time.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention this earlier. I'm a big Disney girl, so DComs, mwah,
Mhm.
love them.
Classics.
But yeah,
It's
we're
true.
just random tourists, even though I'm literally from here.
Yeah.
That was the day Abby tried her first real bagel.
Yeah. I had my first ever bagel that wasn't on Hofstra's campus.
Oh my
Abby.
gosh. That's
Not missing
hilarious.
much.
What?
Oh,
No, Michael.
Sorry, no.
I,
I misspoke.
Mike, use the mic. Use the mic.
Oh boy, we're getting into the heated debate
Sorry.
now.
So I misspoke. I meant it's still better than like Hofstra's bagels. And then so I just meant like, hey, how do I take myself out of this?
Yeah, take yourself out. Okay.
I'll dig you out.
Yeah, take yourself out. People from Long Island know Long Island bagels are the best. New York bagels are the best.
And as a Jewish New Yorker, I can attest to you. Shout out Bagel Chalet for real on Long
interesting.
Island. If you're ever like mid to eastern Long Island, go to Bagel Chalet.
What about Bagel Boss? Is that
Oh my
good?
God, that was my favorite as a kid. And then the one near me closed, so then I had to stop going to Bagel Boss.
Aw.
Bagel Chalet is just really convenient because it's like 10 minutes from my house.
Man,
But deli bagels and like egg sandwiches are great too.
Yeah,
we are off the rails.
we really are. But that's just the
But
show.
it's
Anybody
true.
else watch anything good, cool, exciting, just in general?
Soon. Once the semester's over,
I
we
agree.
have time.
My dad asked me the other day if I watched Skeleton Crew, and I had to
I wanna
say
see it so bad.
I want to see it so bad too, and I haven't. But I've heard really good things about it, and hopefully by the time we have our next show, I would have watched at least the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, seriously.
I went to see Moana too.
Oh,
How was Moana
was
too?
that?
How was that?
It was cute. Like, I think it was the best possible way they could have kept the story going. Like, it was another thing of, like, repetition of, like, oh, yeah, she travels out to the seas, but I'm not without spoiling everything. Like, I think with the new villains and new characters and new boats and new parts of the sea, I think it was a really good addition to the first. The first is still better. I remember you guys talked about that a couple weeks ago. It's
Oh,
really
sure.
hard to have, like, a better sequel.
Yeah.
but I think it still was very good. And if you haven't seen it, I would recommend.
Cool. Did it seem, because I know they originally developed it as a TV show, did it feel like it was a TV show put together as a movie?
No, not at all.
Okay.
That's good. That was
But
like
the
my
music
biggest
was
fear.
not as good as the first.
Well, yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda did not return.
Yeah.
What?
I heard.
How was the
Yeah.
music?
I heard. I thought
It
it did like one
it
song.
wasn't bad,
Yeah.
but it does not compare to the first movie at all.
Because it's Lynn.
Like How Far I'll Go, You're Welcome.
Yeah.
Those are like show-stopping hits. This
Yeah.
one, I mean, I think there's one called Beyond. That's like the one that they're
Yeah.
advertising as like the main song, kind of like How Far I'll Go was. But it's just
It doesn't hit the
It doesn't
same.
compare.
Yeah, I heard that one.
Like the plot and like the movie itself was good, but the music just does not compare.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All
All
Good
right.
to know.
Well, if anybody has anything else, say it now or forever keep your peace.
I think we'll keep our peace.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad we have all been watching some great stuff recently. Now we'll be switching from watching to listening. Yeah, Spotify has unveiled its highly anticipated 2024 Wrapped, offering users a personalized recap of their music journey over the past year. With that, would anybody like to share their Spotify Wrapped and talk a little music?
Not really.
Of course.
No, I'm just kidding.
Also, if you don't use Spotify, Apple Music also has Replay, which is what I'm going to be doing.
Is that what it's called?
It's Replay.
Apple Replay.
Apple Music
Apple
Replay.
Music Replay. That's
Interesting.
horrendous.
Yeah.
Like Spotify Wrapped is just so much better. Sorry, I'm a big
It's the OG.
Spotify girly. Like big Spotify.
I'm with you on that. I'll start us off. My top 5 is the strangest people. So number 1 is Steven Sanchez. That was my big one this year. I don't know why. I haven't listened to him that much. And for that reason, I think Spotify Wrapped is rigged. I'll be honest.
I mean,
but,
I did use AI, I think, for this version.
Yeah. And my number 2 is Noah Khan, which is
Valid.
I thought was going to be my number 1. But then
You give
followed-
Noah Khan vibes.
Thank you.
You do. I can see it.
I listened to him literally nonstop this year, so I'm glad he's up there. And my number 3 is Benson Boone, which got to give him credit this year. He did a good job.
Rising
And
pop star.
I'm not saying my 4 and 5 because it's
Uh-oh.
I don't know why they're there. But anyway, that's my Spotify Wrapped.
What about
artists. Artists? Songs. Number 1 is Hey Girl by Steven Sanchez. Deep Cut, All My Love, Noah Khan, and Beautiful Things, Benson Boone. So top 3
Number
match the top
5?
3. Number 5?
You only said 4.
Oh, did I say 4? Oh, no, I said 3. Sorry. Number 4 is I Remember Everything, Zach Bryan. And then number 5 is Slow It Down, Benson Boone. So
Okay.
Benson Boone got 2 on the top 5
Good
this year.
choice.
Good for you. Anybody else want to share there?
I want to go last.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Right.
That's really
Mine are
building up some
funny.
anticipation there.
Mine are funny. I'm going to share a couple things, and I'm going to steal a book from Brandon and not share my 4 or 5 artists because I also don't know how they got there. My number 1 is Fall Out Boy. Number 2 is Green Day. Number 3 is Panic at the Disco
Ooh.
for artists.
I like that.
My songs.
Okay, emo boy.
He's got a type.
Yeah. My songs. It's kind of funny. I'm gonna go up 5-1
Okay.
because for the reveal. And they're all by the same band, and it's really just because I kind of listen to the same like 3 artists on repeat. Growing Up, Fall Out Boy. I Don't Care, Fall Out Boy. Love from the Other Side, Fall Out Boy. What a Catch, Donnie, Fall Out Boy. And then my number 1 is White Noise.
Is it by Fall Out Boy?
It's White Noise. No,
It's not a song called
it's
White
not a
Noise.
song
Actual,
called White
like,
Noise. It is White Noise.
That's
Wow.
the most funny yet insane thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
It's hilarious.
That
so
is
unfortunate.
so funny.
I hear it happen to so many people though, because like they fall asleep with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I
These
get
different
it,
sounds.
but like that's
It's like-
so funny.
It's a 90-minute White Noise thing that I play on repeat while I sleep. So I think that's funny. And then my albums are interesting because they're just albums that I would have listened to at least once because I don't really listen to albums. I listen to playlists more. And I think these are kind of funny. So I have a lot of these are also just things that I learned from TikTok. So I have like the Ride the Cyclone album, the musical, Saviors, the new Green Day album that came out in like February.
As you should.
Disney came out with an alt rock
oh my god,
covers
I
thing.
remember that?
a whole new
yeah,
sound.
it's like Demi Lovato, right?
I don't think Demi's on
Oh.
it. but it's called a
They
whole.
did do that.
Wholeness
That was
End.
an old one. I know
Yeah,
what
they
you're
did that a
talking
So
while
I'm not
ago.
like bugging.
That was a good album.
And then this one is purely because I used my Apple Music when we were getting ready for HVL,
Oh God.
and Tiana got a hold of my Apple Music.
Oh no.
We have Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator. I don't listen to Tyler the Creator. This is purely because people were on my Apple Music.
It's okay. My Spotify's logged in on the computer in the audio booth.
That's hilarious.
no.
And then the Cabaret soundtrack is the fifth one, which I literally listened to once. So
That's what they all say. But yeah, it is weird how that happens sometimes, where just like random things pop up on
right
on the Wrapped and replays. Who's next? Abby?
Guys,
Let me guess.
let's just think.
Sabrina and Taylor.
Wait, never. I actually. Who are they?
You sound like Frankie.
Wait, so number one artist, this girl named Taylor Swift.
Oh,
Oh my
is she like a
God.
new
Who's that?
indie?
Yeah, she's like really indie, but I'd never really listened to her that much. Right. Number two, Sabrina Carpenter. Whoa.
As you should.
Again. Number three, Noah Kahn.
Okay.
So good. Number four, Brent Cartelli. It was a girl that was on The Voice like a while ago. And then number five is Lizzie McAlpine.
Gotcha.
Wow.
My beloved.
That makes sense for you.
Well, yeah.
I could have guessed those.
Yeah. It's always the same artist every year. Well, Brent is new. That's the only new person.
Okay.
There you go.
Don't know
We
who
love
knocked
some switching it up a bit.
Exactly.
What were your
We're
songs?
changed. We're new. Top songs? Should I go 1 through 5 or 5 through 1?
Bring us up
5
to
to
one.
1.
So go from 5.
Okay. Number, literally, you're gonna
Oh, no.
Is it all Taylor?
Yes. Well, yes.
That's a disappointment.
And they're all, well, one's not from the Torture Poets.
Only one.
We'll see. Number 5, I Hate It Here. Number 4, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. Number 3, I'm Gonna Get You Back. Number 2, Guilty as Sin. Number 1, Vigilante, a word that I can't say on air.
Wow.
Don't know any of those.
I only knew that number one.
Well, yes. Well, the number 1, my mom's favorite song of Taylor's is that one. So whenever she's in my car, I play it.
Oh,
And so
that's cute.
that is probably why it's there.
Wow.
That makes sense.
But
Well, very big Taylor Swift fan over here, I guess.
Okay.
Yes.
I wonder.
I would have never guessed. Guys.
Never have guessed.
Michael Ventrice, did you have yours up?
Maybe. Maybe. Okay, so countdown from 5, it is Sum 41,
Good band.
Bowling for Soup,
Oh, classic.
TX2. Yeah. Creepy Nuts, which is a Japanese like underground rap thing.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir. And unsurprisingly, Green Day is the number one.
Yeah.
Whenever people mention Bowling for Soup, I just think Phineas and Ferb.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I
that's
can't.
cool.
I can't listen to another one of their songs without thinking
Dang.
about.
Well, there's one
Phineas and
really
Ferb.
good one.
Yeah.
What song is it? 1985?
Yes,
Is that Bowling for Soup? I
1985.
love that
1985,
song.
great song.
I love that song. But I do always think of the Phineas and Ferb theme.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the bad thing about making something like that is that your whole reputation is around that. And like I don't know if
Yeah.
Bowling for Soup wants to be known as the Phineas and Ferb band.
I mean,
Like-
they're returning for the next season of it, I think. So.
Really?
That's
There's
what I
another
heard.
season?
That's what
They're
I
making
heard.
2 more seasons on Disney Plus.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I forget when it comes out, but they are doing 2 more
I
seasons.
think this summer.
I hope.
Oh my God, this summer.
Comes out my
Yeah.
first summer as a full adult. I have to go back to my childhood. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But do you have songs, Michael,
Yes,
that
sir.
you
Okay,
were
so
in your top?
counting down with 26,171 minutes to listen.
Oh my god.
That's insane.
Oh,
I mean,
my
you are an audio radio
Yeah,
major.
yes, sir,
so-
yeah. Okay, so number 5 is Bye Bye Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
Love-
exactly.
Love that.
Yeah,
Such a good one.
yeah. Number 4 is something in Japanese. I do not know the translation.
Cool.
Number 3 is a One-Eyed Bastard from the
From the new Green Day, yeah. That's
yeah.
a good song, actually.
Number 2 is a Rocky Mountain High. John Denver.
Oh wow!
Oh.
I did not expect you to have
No, me
that. You caught me off
Dude,
guard there.
I was in Colorado for like 3.5 months. I played that song just over and over.
That's a good
But-
song.
Exactly. So
It's the
anyway,
national anthem of Colorado.
yes, sir. So anyway, actually, it's about the Aurora Peaks with his home there. But
Wow.
Interesting.
I never knew the lore.
yeah, nah,
No, me
dude,
neither.
I was obsessed. But anyway, my number 1 is Bling Bang Bang Born. It's a creepy nut song.
I heard that
Yeah,
one,
the
yeah.
national opening.
Yeah, yeah,
Opening. I know that one.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yes, sir.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who's next to share their Wrapped?
I'm last.
Donovan, do you have yours or
I have like a Apple Music replay, but you're not gonna know most of the artists.
any of them?
You don't have to share if you don't want to. It's up to you.
I'll share like a couple of my favorites.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Share some highlights.
I basically been having like Kendrick's like new album GNX on repeat, so that got closer to my top albums. I think my most played album of, especially during my time in Italy during the summer, was he's this underground rapper, Samad Savage. He made an entire album called The Internet, which is just his own experiences as like a content creator and just how like the internet's a bit of a losing battle, so to speak. And finally, I've been listening to a lot of songs by Gaia Online, which is a friend of mine here on campus, but also she's done like a lot of like songs recently. So I've been
Nice.
trying to listen to them and
Cool.
support them.
Very cool.
Nice.
All right. Well, Jamie, you've kept us in
Yay!
anticipation.
Okay,
It better be good.
so, okay. Should I go? I'll go artist first, and I'll go from the bottom. So number 5, Olivia Rodrigo. Saw her concert this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's like an important point I have to say for all these.
Yeah.
Olivia Rodrigo?
He's making a joke.
Small time.
Okay.
Making a joke.
I was like freaking out. Like, you better know Olivia
It's
Rodrigo.
really underground.
Okay. Number 4, this one you might not actually know. Alec Benjamin.
I don't know.
I think
Alex
I've heard the
Benjamin.
name.
He sings Water Fountain. She told me that she loved me by the water fountain. That guy.
that.
Thank you. Thank you. And I also saw him live this year at Radio City.
Ah.
Number 3, this was kind of a shocker, but also not a shocker. The Glee cast. I told you I loved Glee. My number 3 artist of the year, but I have not seen them live because I watched it many years after the show came out. Number 2, what a shocker, Tate McRae. Saw her this year and last year. Big shocker.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, big shocker, Post Malone.
Oh yeah.
Saw him this year.
Aw.
Saw him like 2 years ago. And hopefully I'm going to see those top 2 again because they're both going on tour again.
That's cool.
Now for songs, this was honestly a little surprising. Number 5 is So American by Olivia Rodrigo. That makes sense. Number 4 is Constellations, the piano version by Jade Lamack. She's on TikTok. This song was in the show My Life with the Walter Boys, and then it was just recently in that Noah Beck movie. So now she's like, oh my God, the fact that my song is like on people's Spotify Wrapped. I'm like, that's so cute. But it's really good. I would recommend. Number 3 is Calgary from Tate McRae's new album, Think Later. I don't know why that one's in the top. That's not my favorite on the album. 2, Defying Gravity Glee cast. I've been listening to it since June, basically nonstop. And number 1, this one was honestly surprising. It's Want That Too from Tate McRae's album, but that's also not my favorite song on the album.
Yeah. It's
So
so weird how
weird
that
it's
happens.
Yeah,
don't
so I don't
understand.
really know what that means, but that's okay. But I also wanted to share. Oh, by the way, I need to find the minutes. Mine was like 41,000 minutes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always interested to see how long people
Yeah.
watch.
But the
Listen.
real shocker, I don't like how they didn't give you like top genres this year.
Yeah,
I've
I was
heard some
annoyed by that
controversy
too.
about that. But I
got
do
top
like the
genres.
weird, like the January, May, and August thing they did.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to share mine because it shows how diverse
Yeah,
my
go for
music
it.
taste is. My January was chill Hollywood melodic rap phase, like Juice WRLD, Post Malone, and Lil Skies. May was my Pink Pilates Princess Strut pop season,
Wow.
which is Tate McRae, Olivia Rodrigo, and Ariana Grande. Now, this one is nothing that was in my top 5 of anything, except for technically Post Malone. But Wild West slow dance country moment, because I love country music.
I think I had that same one.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I remember seeing that. That's
yeah.
funny.
And that was like Post Malone, Luke Combs. I don't know why Old Dominion is listed here. I like one song by them. But I'm honestly, I also like some music that Michael likes. Like the punky stuff. I also have my phases in and out with that. I have a really good playlist.
Yeah. I had a whole conversation with a couple conversations with a couple people in the last couple weeks. I had one at TNL with
Yay, TNL.
Tommy with Tommy and Haley about like Green Day and like some of my other like what would be on your Mount Rushmore. And then I mentioned that conversation to Gia. And I had that conversation with her too about like alt rock. So there's a lot of people in the School of Comm who do like, this type of music that I'm really into.
I like a couple Pierce the Veil songs.
Pierce the Veil is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to also have one of the engineering slots for Alt Nation.
I used to too. And now I head off the charts, and now I have Country Nation. So that works perfectly.
And I'm a producer, so I don't need a music slot. But I actually did get genres because I have Apple Music, and mine is
lucky
ambient.
That's the white
because
noise.
of the white noise. Yeah.
Well, but I also play lo-fi in my room.
That
for
would
like
also
ambiance.
That does it. Yeah.
that makes
Old
sense.
school rap.
Really?
I don't really listen
Run
to old school
DMC.
rap. I don't really listen to old school rap. Alternative punk rock. Those make sense.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised like theater isn't on here because if I'm not listening to like emo music, I'm listening to like Wicked or something.
Yeah. Can we all share our minutes? How long we've listened?
I gotta look for
I have
that.
Yeah, I gotta find it.
33,230 minutes.
How are you more than me?
Oh, what was yours?
Oops.
26,000.
Oh, wow.
Where is my minutes?
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I listen a lot. I
26,000.
gotta say, but I saw someone that had like 120,000.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm like,
That's so
who
crazy.
are you? I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
I think I got like 2,500 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
I am not proud of my minutes. I want more.
What's yours?
I was 41,162. But
It's more than me.
my friend was at like a 60-something or 70-something thousand.
Yeah.
And that is my goal. My goal for next year is to make my minutes over 70,000.
Yeah.
So I can't find my minutes, but I do have milestones on here. And according to this, on September 19th, I reached 50,000 minutes.
What?
On one day?
No, for the
like-
entire year.
Oh.
That's possible in a day.
Well, it's probably because of all the white noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I fear it's 52,639.
Beat me.
That's
I'm just a
crazy.
music girl. You guys.
So Abby wins.
Well, you
We all
guys
know
watch
this.
movies. I do the music part.
Yeah.
So, like,
It's true.
if we
Very
think about
cool.
it.
All right. Well, it's always my favorite time of year when Spotify Wrapped comes out. So
It
it's
made
good
my
to-
day. I was
I know.
in me and Michael and Michael's, both Michael's, sound design class.
Yes.
And then my friend Sophia, who's sitting next to me, is like, oh, like it's Spotify Wrapped Day. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
You literally just made my day. And it was like 9 a.m.
I know. I was in the middle. I was at work, and everybody's just pulling it up on their
Oh,
phones
yeah.
and talking about it.
And I
Nothing
love
got
when
done
people
that day.
post it too. Like some
Yeah.
people are always like, "Oh, I don't want to see people's Spotify Wraps," but I'm like so curious in people's music tastes.
Yeah.
Like I
I'm like, show
honestly
me.
love it. Yeah, like I'm proud of this. Maybe not so much Glee, but I am proud of this. So I'm going to show this off, but I want to see other people's.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's always cool. Always cool when this comes out. But we're now going to hand it over now to our very own Abby Gibson to catch us up on some of the latest stories with our first news break. So, Abby, take it away.
Welcome to Entertainment Newsbreak. I'm Abby Gibson, and here are this week's top stories. Rumors for the casting of the HBO Harry Potter TV adaptation were released last week. Big names were revealed, such as Mark Strong for Dumbledore, Brett Goldstein as Hagrid, and Papa Esposito as Snape. As for Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, and Hermione Granger, there were no names revealed, even as 32,000 kids were submitted for the open casting call. Popular toy company Mattel is being sued as a class action lawsuit launched by a South Carolina resident for emotional distress. The reasoning being a misprint on the Wicked website of the back of the special edition dolls, leading to a site instead of the site for the movie. The doll has since been pulled from the shelves and revised. Sabrina Carpenter's holiday special titled A Nonsense Christmas released last Friday on Netflix with guests such as Chappell Roan, Quinta Brunson, and Shania Twain. The 50-minute special included skits and sing-alongs for fans to enjoy. It made for a great way to welcome in the holiday season. And that's all for this news break. Stay tuned for more entertainment news later in the show.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of big stars in that Sabrina Carpenter thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
I saw some on TikTok. It was really interesting. All right, well, thank you, Abby. Now, let's move on to our main discussion for today. The American Film Institute, or AFI, has unveiled its annual selection of the year's most outstanding films and television series, highlighting exceptional storytelling and artistic achievement in 2024. The list of films that made the list include the following films: Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Nickel Boys, A Real Pain, Sing Sing, and Wicked. Meanwhile, the list of television series include Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Hacks, A Man on the Inside, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Nobody Wants This, The Penguin, Shogun, Shrinking, and True Detective. In addition, AFI presented a special award to Baby Reindeer, recognizing its outstanding contribution to television. These selections celebrate the year's most impactful and innovative works in film and television, reflecting the diverse and compelling narratives that have resonated with audiences and critics alike. So, how do we feel about these lists, and are there any films and TV shows that we feel were snubbed from the lists?
I feel like this was a weird year for content.
I would agree with that.
All of these movies, I really haven't heard or seen much about at all.
I've seen a few of them.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard of a few of them, but then
Yeah.
like half of them I've never even heard of.
Yeah, it's weird because especially after last year where we had Oppenheimer and Barbie, which were like, you know, unknown original movies that were so big, and now there's all these original movies that like you never really heard of before.
Well,
so.
yeah, I think like 2023 was just a very stacked year in like
Oh, yeah.
general for movies. I think also it doesn't help that a lot of the 20 biggest movies of 2024, like this year, have been like sequels to stuff. So Inside Out 2, Moana 2, and
Right.
then Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
True.
Almost every major movie this year was a sequel.
That is true. And next year we'll have a couple more sequels as well.
Well, there is a sequel that made the list, Dune Part 2.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Dune Part 2, I didn't see it, but I have a friend who consistently tells everyone that we need to watch Dune Part 2. Even 7 months. Brandon knows him. It's Alex. Alex Del Rosa. He, every time I see him, he's like, should we watch Dune 2? And that movie came out in like March. I do know a couple of these films. I'm a little excited for A Complete Unknown. That is the Bob Dylan, I believe, biopic with Timothy Chalamet. We almost talked about that as an entire segment, and then I found better stories. I heard of Anora. I haven't seen Anora.
My roommate saw it. They said it was good.
Okay. And I did some research on Conclave for my internship a while ago. And it looked good. Controversial, but good. And it has a great cast. So yeah, does anybody have any other opinions on the film side before we go over to TV?
Well, I'm excited to watch these. I usually watch all of the like nominated movies before
Yeah.
award season, and so they sound interesting from what I hear.
Yeah.
So I am interested to see them.
I definitely think there are some movies that will be nominated that just aren't on this list.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little surprised that A Real Pain is on there because I haven't seen it yet, but it's like new and I like didn't hear of it until I was just looking on a movie website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looked good. I wanted to see it. I'm just broke.
As it always is.
I definitely think The Wild Robot should be on here.
Oh my God, I want to see that too.
Yeah, I hear great things
Kit
about that
Connor,
one.
I love him.
Another movie I did research on.
Animation never gets
No,
its due.
and
Never.
I mean it has its own category at the Oscars, but
Right.
like it's never really recognized with the live action films,
Right.
which really sucks because especially in like the 90s, the Disney Renaissance. Not just Disney, but there were other companies too that were making incredible animated films.
Yeah. Well, Beauty and the Beast got nominated, I believe, for Best Picture.
It did. That was before they had the Best Animated Feature award.
Oh, okay.
And then like you can also look at the 2000s and like WALL-E should definitely, or like Finding Nemo or Ratatouille.
Up got nominated.
My favorite.
Yeah, Up got nominated. That's true.
Yeah, and Shrek somehow.
Shrek is just Shrek. So
Yeah.
Yes, Shrek is Shrek. You know what? They were playing. I went to my cousin's hockey game yesterday, and they were playing All Star. And I said to my mom, because he's like a good amount younger than me. He's like 11 years younger than me. And I was like, these kids know this movie, right? She was like, Shrek? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, of course they know Shrek. So I guess I just think it's like a what are we? Gen Z? Gen X?
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Yeah.
It's borderline,
millennial.
but we're Gen Z, unfortunately.
Gen Z millennial thing.
We're millennials.
Yeah. I also think Deadpool and Wolverine will be nominated for a couple of things.
Absolutely.
I really liked that movie.
You know what's interesting? Not as many streaming movies are on here. There's
that's a good
two
point.
I see.
For movies or TV shows?
For movies.
For movies, yeah.
Which is different than the past few years. I
That
feel
is
like
different.
There's
You're
a
right.
lot of streaming originals. And I think a lot of studios are putting their movies back into theaters instead of just direct to streaming now.
Which is a good thing.
Coraline, I think, was re-released and actually made like a ton of money. I think one of the Lord of the Rings movies did as well.
That is true, and we're going to talk a little bit about Lord of the Rings later on, or at least I am a little bit later.
Ooh. Cool stuff. But let's move on to TV, I think.
Yeah.
Because there's some interesting ones here. The Bear, no shock there.
No
it
shock.
wins
Fantastic.
every year. I wasn't a fan of this season, though.
I didn't watch the new season.
Okay. Yeah, this season was a little bit of a different tone for me, and I wasn't a huge fan. But
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that they put it back on the list.
Abbott Elementary, I think, definitely deserves to be on there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hacks is another great show.
Mm-hmm.
I've only watched a couple of episodes in classes, but it's a great show. I didn't watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but I saw a lot for it, and it looked really good. It's another remake of a movie, but I thought it looked good. And then so did Shogun.
Yeah, I heard great things
I heard
about Shogun.
great things.
And I really need to watch that one.
Yeah, and True Detective always is a smash
Okay.
hit.
I need to chat. So I took the class on True Detective. There's
Okay.
like
The
there's
showrunners class?
Yeah, the showrunners like analysis class for True Detective. And so we watched all of season 1 with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. Fantastic. Season 1, you can't top it. We skipped over seasons 2 and 3. We watched the first episode of each, and we skipped over the seasons because we've been told they were terrible. Then we watched all of the new season. And a lot of the class did not like it. I liked it, but not as good as the first season. You really can't top True Detective season 1. So I've heard that there's a lot of controversy over the new season of True Detective.
I watched it because I had a class this spring. I only watched the first season and the fourth season because of that class.
Yeah.
I think my only problem with it is that it's a mystery, but it feels more like a drama than actual mystery because like most of the characters aren't really doing anything and they're just kind of like, you know, going along for the motions and have to wait until like someone else in the police precinct like is able to figure out what to do, which I think creates like a bit of a characters not being as active as I feel like they should.
That's interesting.
I liked the plot line of it, like with the whole like snow and ice thing. Like I liked that. It was very interesting though. Like I would still choose the first season over it, but it was interesting.
Cool.
Also, nobody wants this. I'm kind of surprised that's there.
I'm not.
I
not
really
at all.
liked it,
Not
yeah.
surprised at all.
I know it's good. I watched the first episode.
It
It
was
was really good.
fantastic.
I've never watched it.
But,
oh
She
my
recommended it
god.
to me, and I think I watched it within the first week of her recommending it.
Yeah,
to
I
me.
literally told Abby to watch it, and then she did it instantly.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Because like I said earlier, I'm a big romance girl, but
Yeah.
I watch mostly like teen romances or like college, like high school, college, like romance drama, whatever. This one was full out adults, which I didn't think I was going to like until I started it. And I was like, oh, like, It was so good.
Wow.
If you haven't watched it or haven't finished it,
Yeah, I gotta finish it now.
you gotta. It's unbelievable.
Kristen Bell and Adam Brody are just such great actors too.
They're
Yeah.
so
It's
good.
just like
I love Kristen Bell.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Elsa. Is she Elsa or Anna?
She's Anna.
She's Anna.
Elsa's Idina Menzel.
Oh, right.
Other notable shows, Shrinking. Haven't seen it, but I've seen a
Seen
lot
an
of
episode.
stuff about it, and it just looks really good.
That's another one I'm kind of shocked though, because like it looks good, but it doesn't look like amazing. You know?
I had to
That's
watch one
fair.
episode for class. It didn't wow me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't like captivated. by it.
And then a show that people are saying is the best show recently of this year, The Penguin.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about
Yeah,
that.
I hear so much about it, which is surprising as a DC show. You
Yeah.
know, it's a you know,
Yeah,
it's a superhero
I think
show.
it's
first
because it's in like the Robert Pattinson Batman
Right.
place, and I really liked
Yes.
that movie. I haven't watched Penguin, but I really liked the Robert Pattinson Batman.
yeah, that movie did fantastic.
And I don't know. I think we've learned from the Dark Knight movies that a darker, like realistic Batman works better for film than a fantastical Batman like the Keaton movies.
Yeah.
So I think kind of returning to that was really good.
I think there's like a mix, or at least like room for kind of both a realistic and more fantastical Batman in general. But yeah.
Well, cool stuff here. I'm excited to watch some of these and catch up when award season comes around. But for now, we're going to hand it back over to Abby with another news break.
Variety's Actors on Actors series starts tomorrow, December 9th, with Ryan Reynolds and Andrew Garfield. The show's focus is to bring two popular actors together to talk about their work. There will be 11 more pairings, with the last one airing December 20th. The iconic 2006 movie The Devil Wears Prada is in the process of having a sequel, as Disney reveals it is in development. While there hasn't been a confirmed announcement, reports in July said Disney was in the process of creating the film. Variety reported the sequel would focus on Miranda Priestley's struggle as the decline of traditional magazine publishing leads her to Emily Charlton, who has advertising money that Priestley needs. Taylor Swift's iconic Eras Tour ends tonight in Vancouver, Canada. After 149 shows in 53 different cities, the highest-grossing tour in history amassed over $1 billion. The tour lasted over 1 year, with 3 albums, 2 re-records, and 1 new album released. Swift deserves the break she will have once the tour is over. And that's all for this entertainment news break. Now let's get back to the movies.
I can't believe the tour's finally over.
I was just about to say that.
This has been going on forever.
Years.
That's crazy. All right. Well,
Not too much.
well, thank you again, Abby. We're now going to kick off our Hollywood news discussion. So our first story, the Ruby Slippers have walked over to the Yellow Brick Auction House, becoming the most valuable piece of movie memorabilia in history. The famous shoes worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz was sold by Heritage Auctions for $28 million following an intense bidding war. The shoes were previously stolen from the Judy Garland Museum in 2005 and were recovered by the FBI 13 years later in 2018. These are one of only 4 known pairs to still exist from the beloved Technicolor classic. At this time, it is unknown who is taking home these priceless pieces of movie history. But this is insane, guys. Did you guys hear about this?
How's it unknown?
It's not public who buys it, so they have to announce it themselves if they
that
want to
makes
be
more
known.
sense. 'Cause I'm like,
Interesting.
if they won the bidding war, then they.
It's all anonymous.
I kind of hope it's like
A museum?
like the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
Or there's a movie museum in New York, right?
Sure.
We'll go with that.
There's a
museum in the moving image, something like that.
Queens.
Yeah. Just I don't know. I trust museums more than some random schmo from Brooklyn.
It's true.
Hipster from Brooklyn.
I had actually saw these particular ruby slippers a few weeks ago. I mentioned on a previous. Yeah, they had them at the auction house for public viewing.
Okay.
And I was talking with the person in charge of the Ruby Slippers, and she was saying she believes that it's going to go into private hands, and you might never see these again, which is kind of sad to hear. But
Yeah.
and they also didn't expect it to reach this kind of price tag. They were estimating around $5 million.
Yeah. Makes sense.
28 million is much more than that, I'd say.
Right. Yeah.
And it's crazy that these have become the most valuable pieces of memorabilia ever. The previous one to hold that position was for $5 million, I believe. So this is far surpassed that.
I mean, everyone knows like the Wizard of Oz, so
Yeah.
I think
that's
also
why.
with Wicked, there's just like this new like love for it.
Yeah.
There's a
Also,
whole hype.
Yeah.
I mean, Wicked's great. The original movie is a classic and is such a cornerstone too, but like triumph in movies and history. And it's so important. Like, it was one of the first films to use Technicolor, and just the way it's edited and the storytelling is really good. Fun fact: the Ruby Slippers are not Ruby in the book.
It's true.
there's a book.
There's a book. They're all based off of books.
Yeah.
The Wizard of Oz. They're all based off of books written in the 1900s.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Wicked is written by a different guy.
Yeah.
But The Wizard of Oz is based off of a book. The slippers are silver.
Okay.
And that's why only in the original version can you see them as red ruby slippers.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's copyright infringement and all that.
Although
that's why it's so iconic.
Potential spoilers for Wicked Part 2. I don't care because this musical's been out since I was born.
Yeah.
In the musical, they're not going to do this in the movie, mostly because I can see Dorothy's slippers in the beginning of the movie. In the musical, Elphaba enchants the silver slippers for Nessa to walk, and they become red. They become ruby when she enchants them. They're not going to do that, which kind of sucks, actually, because it's kind of important to the movie, to the musical. But
a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, I found that out because I was like, why did they do that? But the real reason is because it's copyrighted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. But I was shocked by this. I really was, and I'm so interested to see where they end up because there's one pair in the Smithsonian, there's one pair at the Academy Museum in LA. There's one pair that's in private collection and hasn't been seen in many years, and then this is the last pair, and we don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
So it's like it's such a mystery that I'm excited to see how it unfolds.
Me too.
All right. Well,
Moving on over to social media, as a U.S. federal appeals court has upheld a law mandating that ByteDance,
I think it's
TikTok's
ByteDance.
ByteDance.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't read. TikTok's Chinese parent company to sell off its U.S. operations by January 19th, 2025, or face a nationwide ban of TikTok.
Yeah, that's happening.
This comes after the social video platform was unsuccessful in appealing a bill passed by Congress earlier this year due to national security concerns over potential data access by the Chinese government. TikTok CEO responded that the company intended to fight that bill, saying, "Make no mistake, this is a ban on TikTok and a ban on you and your voice." The bipartisan bill would force TikTok to either divest its U.S. business or be banned as of January 19th, the day before President-elect Trump's inauguration. So, how do we feel about this news?
I'm pissed.
Really?
I saw it coming.
I am unbelievably angry.
Why?
And I'm an avid TikTok user. I go on more than once a day, let's be real. But the thing that I'm the most upset about, like, I don't really care about like not seeing the videos. There's still Instagram Reels and blah, blah, blah. But to me, all my favorited videos are gonna go away.
Yeah.
Like, I have like thousands of like saved videos on TikTok, and like it has great organization. Like, I have folders and everything. Like, it's so good. And for them to just take that away, and like I might have to download them all and make like a whole like album in my Google Photos, which I don't have Google storage. So it's either that's my option and then just download or screen record all the videos, or I'm dead.
Yeah.
I heard that they were going to go to the Supreme Court about it.
They
I'm
better.
sure they will.
I think so. Here's the thing, and don't know if I wrote down the wrong thing or if I can't remember. I can't remember if this was just a random court, like
Well, it was
before, or if it was a Supreme
I
Court.
believe it was a federal.
Okay, federal.
court.
So, whatever.
Sure.
But they should go to the Supreme Court because there are some concerns about it being a violation of First Amendment rights,
Yeah.
which I'm not an expert on the Constitution.
Freedom of speech,
or-
you're taking away a platform of speech.
Yes, but also, I don't know.
Yeah, I think there is a really good constitutional question here
Yeah.
with this. You
Yeah.
know, does social media count as a platform of speech? And
It
would
can-
restricting
It
a
does,
social
yeah.
media platform count as
Well-
restriction of speech?
I consider
It can count as press,
Yeah.
It could.
and that's a part of the First
I mean,
Amendment.
that could be a factor too.
Guys, I could do law.
Michael Law.
Yeah, I'm a constitutional
I'd
junkie,
be.
so
I would
it is
not. I
interesting.
would not pass the bar. I'd fail it so bad.
But you also have to consider, you know, it doesn't just have to be banned; it could also be sold. So I don't think they would just let it die out. I think, if anything, they're going to sell it to another company because
I
this
do
is a
have a solution.
huge moneymaker. And I remember Walmart was interested in buying it when this bill was proposed. Yeah.
Oh.
Ugh.
Hey,
So-
if it keeps TikTok, I'd take it.
Yeah.
You
But
can also
I do
use a
have a
VPN.
solution. Yeah, use a VPN and just change it. Who owns it? China? China owns ByteDance?
It's a
China,
Chinese
yeah.
company.
Chinese company.
So basically, if you just set your phone's location to China and keep it in English, then there you go.
That's sure.
That's my hack.
But I think I don't know. That's what's also weird because there's two separate operations. There's a U.S. operation and one that's operating in China. So like, it's there's a whole bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes here. That's like, what's really going on?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, anybody have anything else to add to that? Before
not really.
All right, so I'm gonna really quickly go over this next segment. Tune in this week because there's always so many things coming out to watch, and it's so hard to keep up. Trust me, I'm a film student. I don't have time to watch things. So we're gonna go over the TV and movies coming out soon with Tune In this week.
We don't have the audio.
Okay, I'll just say
sorry.
Craven the Hunter, directed by J.C. Chander, stars Aaron Taylor Johnson as Sergei Kravinoff, a man driven by a complex relationship with his father, Nikolai Kravinoff, played by Russell Crowe. Look, the music. Leading him down a path of
Found it.
vengeance to become the world's most feared hunter. The film also features Ariana DeBose as Calypso, Fred Hetchinger as Chameleon, Alessandro Nivola as Rhino, Christopher Abbott as the Foreigner. Set within Sony's Spider-Man universe, this R-rated installment delves into Kraven's origin story, exploring his transformation into a formidable anti-hero. Kraven the Hunter is scheduled for theatrical release on December 13th.
Very interesting.
It is very interesting. The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, is an animated film directed by Kenji Kamiyama. The voice cast, it's an animated film, features Brian Cox, Gaia Wise, and Miranda Otto reprising her role from the original trilogy from around when I was born in 2003. The narrative unfolds 183 years prior to the events of the original Lord of the Rings films, focusing on King Helm Hammerhand of Rohan as he defends his kingdom against Wolf, a vengeful Dundelding lord seeking retribution for his father's death. The conflict leads to a pivotal last stand as the fortress, later known as Helm's Deep. The film is set to release on December 13th. No Good Deed is a dark comedy series created by Liz Feldman, coming soon to Netflix. The ensemble cast includes Ray Romano, Lisa Kudrow, Linda Calderini, Margot Starling, Luke Wilson, and J.D. Campbell. The plot centers on three distinctive families competing to purchase a 1920 Spanish villa in Los Angeles, each believing the home will resolve their personal issues. And that is what's coming to screens near you. Make sure to tune in next week to find out more upcoming projects.
Very cool stuff. I'm excited to see it all come out. But that wraps up this week's show. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been The Screening Room on WRHU. Be sure to tune in to our show every Sunday at 10 a.m. only here on 88.7 FM, Radio Hofstra University. But until then, we'll see you at the movies. Have a great week, everyone.